Are you thinking about purchasing a home right now in the market and hearing all about the 2-1 buy down? Now, the 2-1 buy down is great news, but do you know the number one thing you need to know when considering a 2-1 buy down? Well, if not, you're going to want to watch this video. I'm going to tell you the number one thing you need to know when considering a 2-1 buy down here in this real estate market. Hi, I'm William Daly, local real estate specialist here, brokered by LPT Realty and part of the Trinity Home Team. Also, content creator for Locals Lifestyles, covering everything that's real estate here in Florida. So before I dive into this, I just want to give you the disclosure that I am not a mortgage lender or a mortgage broker, nor a financial expert at all. So after watching this, any of the details that you pick from this video, I highly recommend that you follow up with your preferred lender. If you don't have a preferred lender, I can definitely point you in the right direction. So if you're interested in purchasing a house in Florida right now and want to learn more about all the tools I can provide you here as a buyer, get in the description, click on the link to set up a time for us to make an appointment. I love to talk about real estate and I'd love to give you more details about this. Okay, so what is the number one thing all buyers should be considering right now? Of course, it's what everybody's talking about, the 2-1 buy down. So what is exactly the 2-1 buy down? Well, simply put, when they lock in your interest rate, your first year will be bought down for 2 points. And the second year will then be bought down for 1 point. And then as it continues in the remaining 28 years of a 30-year mortgage, you would then be whatever that interest rate is that you have locked in. So if that's not making sense this way, I'll explain it a little differently. As the example, if you're purchasing a house here and you're locked in for a rate of, let's just say 6%, the 2-1 buy down is going to give you your first year's interest now at 4%. The second year's interest now will be annual 5%. And as it goes into the remaining 28 years, you will then be at your locked in rate of 6%, giving the buyer the great opportunity in this current market to lock in a 2-1 buy down with a 4, 5, then 6% with the opportunity to then refinance if the rates are lower. And if the rates aren't lower at that time, then that's just putting further emphasis on now being the best time for you to buy. So I recommend locking in the rate whenever you can, because everybody always wants to know of whether or not it's the right time to buy. And that's so subjective to the buyer, because it's always going to dictate whether or not it's the right time for them to buy. I would never recommend you basing your decision just simply off of a rate of whether or not it's the right time for you to buy a house. But it is definitely something that you need to consider, because that not only affects your purchase price, but it will also affect your monthly payment. Now, I know that this is good news, but even better news is the fact that there's also talk of a 3-2-1 buy down coming next. Now, one of the things I do want to address is something that I hear getting thrown around a lot when considering the 2-1 buy down. And the saying goes, marry the house and not the rate. Whereas I do believe that this holds some truth, I highly encourage you as a buyer to also consider the fact that you are going to be committed to a 30-year mortgage, and nobody can predict the future. So make sure anytime that you're buying a house that it's a house that you love. And that's why I always put emphasis on marrying the house and not the rate, but not just because of the fact that it's going to lower your mortgage payment for your first 2 years. Make sure the house that you buy is something that you absolutely love. Okay, so here's the number one thing that you need to know about a 2-1 buy down, is the fact that the seller has to pay for it, which means you have to rely on a good realtor to be able to negotiate terms like this into your contract. So make sure you're using a good one when representing you as a buyer. And I would love to be the realtor that represents you in your purchase. So if you want to learn more about this, get into the description and click on the link, set up a time for us to talk. I love to talk about real estate and I would love to give you more information. I hope this short video helped you decide whether or not the 2-1 buy down is a good fit for you. I'm William Daly, but hey, you could just call me a local. I'll see you on the next one.